Chitaramama yitukui yanatiwaya san tutuyaha tiramakiwanaya sunuraki yanake amatiwaya tiwaya shantiramaha. Namaste, greetings beloved beings. This is the Rising Soul Flow, where we press live and see what comes. No plan, no agenda, and no idea what is coming. What we're being given here is this idea, the spiritual idea, that we are like one part of this whole. We are like this one cell in the body of Gaia. We are one neuron in her mind. That we are one interconnected piece of this whole. And that is a beautiful spiritual concept, and it is a beautiful absolute truth. But so often in this physical life, so often in our physical world, in our separate bodies, in our separate spaces, in our seeming separate times, it's very easy to forget that we are quite literally part of everything. And everyone and everything is part of us. And everyone and everything that seems out there is actually in here. And we separate, we judge, we classify, we hierarchically lineate and delineate people, places, things, events as separate entities, as separate events, things I can judge, things I can talk about, things I can want, things that I don't want, things that I like, things that I don't like. It's so easy to fall into this because everything in the world, in the physical dream, confirms your separation from everything else. There's a place where this body stops, and these clouds, and this mountain, and this chair seem to begin and seem to end. There's a space between you and the other objects and the other people, and then it's tangibly felt, and it's tangibly, you're separate from someone, and then you hug someone, you've had something, then you don't have it, an experience comes and experience goes. So the reality continuously gives you the evidence that you are separate, but the truth is that we are not separate. And so we're being reminded today to continuously remind yourself. The mind is set up, the egoic mind is set up to separate, to classify, to pigeonhole, to put things in their places. And we are being reminded today to really, as often as possible, remind yourself that you are quite literally part of everything. You are quite literally everything, and that there is nothing separate, including things in what we would call the past and things we would call in the future, other people, events, the world, the stars, the universe. We are literally, not metaphorically, not just in a fluffy spiritual concept. We are part of everything. So that includes, most challengingly for the little ego, all of the things that you don't like, all of the things that you're afraid of, all of the things that you judge, all of the things that seem to be able to be put in a box over there that's evil or bad or wrong or inconvenient. We are part of them. And all of the things that we love and we want to grasp onto and hold to, we are not only part of them, we are them. And it's important to center ourselves in this remembrance that we are one cell in the body of Gaia, we are one neuron in her mind. We are and we cannot be separate from our source, which is the all of everything. So the all of everything is all that there is, and we are one intrinsic whole part of that. We are one perspective in that. And whenever we, again, because the evidence of our senses continuously, non-stop, give us opposing evidence of that, it's so important that we balance this up. Again, there's the gift of this physical reality, that I have the ability to see my wife over there and to run across and give her a hug, and the feeling of being separate and the feeling of coming together. I have the feeling, the ability to experience the birthing of an idea, the genesis of an idea, the writing it down, speaking it into being, drawing it, writing it, then taking action, then it coming to fruition, and it becoming something real. We have the ability and the continuous evidence that reports that. But in essence, the genesis, the thought, the idea, the word, the completed project is all already complete and whole, and we are already that. We are already everything. It's not somewhere we're going. We don't have time. So that's the gift of this. But if we are not continuously reminding ourselves that we are everything, all is us, we are one, including all of the possible pasts, all of the possible presents, and all the possible futures, we will get lost if we don't continuously remind ourselves in that, and we will believe that we are separate, and we'll believe that there's something we need to get, we'll believe that there's something we've lost, we'll believe that there's something we need to get to make ourselves whole. Whatever way works for you to remind yourself that you are part of everything, that everything is you, all the things you like, all the things you don't like, all the things you want, all the things you think you haven't got, all the things that you believe are separate from you are not separate from you, and they cannot be separate from you because it is only one thing. And it's not even a thing, one thingless thing, one timeless beingness, isness unfolding. So whatever way you can bring yourself multiple times a day, contrary to the evidence of your senses, bring yourself into the knowing that I am that. This is part of me. Even though everything is pointing towards our separation, the truth is evolving as our connection, our interconnectedness, our interdependence, our holistic nature. And it quite literally is mind-blowing when we actually think about it. The mind cannot grasp this. It literally will blow our mind away. Because again, the mind, the ego, is based on separation. Is based on, I am this little me, I am doing these things, I want these things, I don't want these things, I'm going there, I want to get away from where I was, I want to get back that thing that I've lost, I want to get this thing that I never gained. And our senses give all evidence and all agreement with that idea of separation. So you can imagine how challenging that is. You don't have to imagine. You are living this. We are all living this continuously. So that the truth is we are all of everything. The truth is we are not separate from anyone. But every breath, every thought, every idea, every word, every step, every second, all of the evidence points to the contrary of what is actually true. So a dear friend shared with me the other day, something, it has to come from born of faith, not a belief. We can't believe in oneness. The faith has to come from a knowingness that doesn't need evidence. It's a present truth that's not going to be confirmed by your senses. It's not going to be confirmed by what we call facts. So whenever we find ourselves judging, whenever we find ourselves wanting, whenever we find ourselves grasping for something, the invitation is to remember that this is all a beautiful play of consciousness, and our senses will give us all of the evidence that we need to give an opposing view to the truth, so that I can experience the hug with my wife, so I can experience this passage of time, so I can experience the rising of the sun and the falling of the day, so that we can know ourselves to be apparently separate in this fathomless, endless, borderless fullness, wholeness, completeness. Already is thisness now. So the invitation is when it gets strong, And when the idea of separation, when the idea of classification, when the idea of hierarchy, whenever the idea of loss, whenever the idea of want, whenever the idea of aversion, the idea of clinging appears, remember it's a part of you that's giving you an opportunity to remember that I am that. I already have that. There's nowhere that I can go. There's nothing that I cannot have. There's nowhere I cannot be. There's nothing that I can be separate from, including the dogs barking, including the bird sound, including the sun, including the stars in the sky. They are part of me. I am part of them. They are the self looking back upon ourselves, and this gift of individuation is an incredible gift. And whenever we recognize this, we begin just a natural consequence of that is not a practice. The natural consequence is gratitude. We can only just be grateful. It's just so natural. It's not like I should do this practice called gratefulness. I should be thankful. It's just a natural upwelling of the recognition that I am all of this. I am all of that. No problem that ever seems to exist can exist. There are no problems. There is nothing missing. There is nothing that I am not. There is nowhere that I cannot be. There is nothing that I cannot have. There's nothing that I am not already. Then all our little petty problems, all our little seeming challenges, all the stories we tell, all the victim stories and all the grand stories, we just become grateful. It's a natural upwelling of gratitude because it's just the only, oh my God, hope this guy comes into camera. There's a little flying being just coming around the camera. Come on and say hello if you want. He's just like really floating there. 1212. He's just checking out this little strange device. But it's just a natural occurrence. It's like a natural response of gratitude. Come down a little bit so we can see you. That way, please. He's just out of camera. Yes, come over. Come on. He's really curious about this. And it's one of these things that's really, when they're moving, they look, wow, it's very cool. They're just floating. So I am that. You are me, this little being. You want to land on here so we can see you? Come on. Here. Look at this little guy. Where'd you go? Come on. Yes, here he is. Okay, he does want to make an appearance. He or she. So just like that, this little creature, this little winged creature, can float around and, appear like it can just float and just like glide. Come say hello. It seems like separate. It's moving around. It can fly. I'm sat in a seat, but yet we can communicate. We can interoperate. I don't know if that's a word. But the essence of this is to find ways to center yourself in the truth continuously. We've talked about it many times. That is quite easy. It's very easy to say we are all one. I'm connected with the all of everything. When the people and the places and the events and the circumstances and the emotions inside are reflecting something that you want, something that you like, something you're with your soul family, you're having a beautiful experience, your heart is open, your life seems to be going your way. The challenge seems to be, for this one, and you can share in the comments if it is for you, the challenge is when things are going wrong, when people are triggering you, when your heart closes, when trauma is speaking, when you feel like you've lost something. You feel like the poor little me. You feel like your story is the most important story in the world, and this continuing pattern of whatever it happens to be is overwhelming you, and it's squeezing you, and you're hurting, and you're grieving, and you feel sad, and you feel lost, and you feel lonely, and you feel judged and you feel condemned, all of the above, then that seems to be when it's the most challenging. Can I know that that being that seems to be hurting me is part of me? Can I be in the recognition of oneness when someone is judging me or taking something away from me or seeming to? When a political figure or a public expression really triggers me, really hurts me, really seems to take away some of my freedom, or really seems to hurt or damage or um, openly harm others, can I find my part in it then? Can I see myself in the expression called war? Can I see myself in the expression where human beings are hurting other beings? Can I see myself in that? I don't mean add energy to it. I don't mean um, be this spiritual bypass, flip and just throw it away. No, can I find my part in that? Can I find the war within me? Can I find the times, importantly, where I hurt myself, where I silence myself, where I damage myself with food or toxic substances or toxic thoughts or toxic actions or repeating patterns that we know that don't work, but we continue to do it? Yet we have this outer reflection, and it's easy to put it over there, put it in that other country, put it in those other people, put it in some karmic retribution. But can we find ourselves in the all of everything, especially that which makes us uncomfortable, that which makes us judgmental, that which either puts us above others or puts us below others? Can you find yourself in that and recognize the oneness there? When everything seems to fall away, when you go through these inevitable death and rebirth cycles, when relationships end, when businesses fail, when money disappears, when sickness arises, when disease appears, when no one understands you, when you seem to be the only one that sees and thinks and feels the way you are, can you find the oneness then? Can we find the oneness then? Can we remember then? That is our work. That is the mastery of the human condition. When you're in the echo chamber, when you're in the meditation room, when you're in the yoga class, when you're on the retreat, when you're with the people that you've surrounded yourself that agree with you most of the time, there's no growth. It's beautiful and it's important and it is a remembrance of the oneness. But it's when you're challenged. It's like the muscles, the physical muscles. If you're always doing a workout that doesn't challenge your body, that doesn't take your muscle to failure, if you're always staying within a comfort zone mentally, where you don't have to think outside of what you've experienced before, if you're guarded emotionally and you stay within a certain realm, we'll never grow emotionally, we'll never grow mentally, our physical body will never grow. And if we stay within our belief systems and thoughts and ideas around spirituality, we stay within an echo chamber with only those who agree with us, with only those who live like us, with only those who reflect the parts of ourselves that we want to see, we will not grow spiritually. And the paradox is, like we've shared, there is no growth to do. There's nothing we have to get. There's nowhere to go. We cannot become more spiritual. So it's this constant paradox of growth within the dream and recognizing there's nothing to grow, there's nothing to add, there's no more to go. But it's in the challenge, it's in the depth, in the darkness, in the soil, in the shadow, where we have the opportunity to stay as open-hearted as when we're surrounded with soul family. So if we begin to practice, in essence, keeping our heart open no matter what, keeping, and this is another very good practice, is intentionally putting ourselves in spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical spaces, places, events, and practices that challenge us Then when it seems to come spontaneously or seems to come out of the blue, we've prepared ourselves because we've chosen to do it. And if we do not choose to do it, life will choose it for us anyway. We try and wrap ourselves in cotton wool. We try and stay separate from what we don't like. We try and put it over there, we put it out in time. We put it in the past. We put it in the future. We put it away from us. Life will always find a way to bring the remembrance, the growth. Again, we use the word growth here. That is for our soul's evolution. So if we choose to do that consciously, put ourselves in challenging circumstances, put ourselves in places where people don't agree with ourselves. Put yourself out emotionally, vulnerably. Share things that you wouldn't normally share. Ask questions you wouldn't normally ask. Be willing to be challenged. Be willing to be put under the spotlight. Then life will not have to put us through the ringer. Life will not have to have that shock accident. Life will not have to, because we've chosen to do it. We've chosen to do it consciously. And then we are becoming sovereign. We're not waiting for life to come at us. We are meeting life, and we're meeting life in every way, and we're meeting life as life itself, knowing we are part of it all, that which we like, that which we don't like, that which we want, that which we don't want. We are meeting life consciously and sovereignly, with sovereignty, so that life doesn't have to throw at us what actually is for our highest growth. And, oh, hello, our friend's back again. Life will not have to throw that at us because we've consciously chosen it. So if we're not doing something every day in all those levels that are taking us out of our comfort zone, that are challenging our beliefs and thoughts, that are challenging us mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in some way, life will do that for us. Because the nature of life is expansion, is evolution, is remembering, so that we become members of the body of God again, and life will do that. And you don't know if it's coming this hour, the next hour, the moment of remembrance, the moment of revelation. All we know is it's coming. So why not choose it consciously? Choose it with sovereignty every day in some little way, and then we become this evolutionary force within life that is not resisting change, is not hiding from change, not waiting until the roof falls in, not waiting till the relationship collapses to remember what it is all about. And again, it's not about being, looking for pain or looking for some sort of suffering, or, the opposite, the extreme end of that, where the ego wants to punish itself. It wants to, somehow, because it, like this self-loathing or retribution. It's not about that, but it's about really choosing to evolve, to expand, to grow, putting ourselves in circumstances, whatever it may be, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, to find out, who am I really? Who am I when I'm tired, when I'm stressed, when I'm with people that really don't light me up? Can I be an open-hearted, loving being, the same as when I'm with the people who love me, who show the light, who bring the light out of me, who bring the best out of me? Again, this is not about looking for negative. It's not about focusing on the dark. It's about being in the flow of life, being in the natural evolution of life, and not trying to hold what we like and what we love and what is good and separate all the rest. It's about natural unfoldment of life, and either we are being taken along whether we choose to consciously or not. But whenever we choose consciously with sovereignty to meet life with curiosity, with openness, with courage, at times, life will not have to bring the big crashes, the big burns, the big breakdowns, because we're choosing them little by little by little, and then the evolution is becoming, and it doesn't have to be ignore disaster. It doesn't have to be death by 1,000 cuts in the relationship. It doesn't have to be that collapse of everything around you suddenly one day and seemingly not knowing where it has come from. Because when we consciously choose it every day in little ways, we are going with the flow of life, which is a natural evolution of expansion, and we will be in the flow of life, and then more and more again this natural upwelling that we get to choose consciously. With this ability of free will, we have the opportunity every day in every way to go with the flow of life rather than be in. I know this one has felt that you feel like you're in opposition to life. You feel like life is a battle. You feel like life is something you have to trudge through. And that these challenges and problems that are coming to you is like, it's why me, it's little poor me. It's like the victim comes out. We consciously choose to put ourselves in these circumstances every day in some way. If we go through a day where we are not challenged in some way, and again, I'm using this word in like there's a growth in it, there's an evolution in it, there's something that will come of it. We might not see it. The important thing as well, if we knew everything, if we knew what's on the other side of a challenge, we would it wouldn't be a challenge. So it's again this born of faith. It's this not knowing, but knowing that the flowing with life, knowing like the seed has to break through incredible forces to come out, you know, to birth the plant, the fruit. You need mothers there go through this incredible experience with their body to give birth to a human. To know that there is a process of life and there's this perfected expression of life, and a lot of it comes through challenge. A lot of it comes through coming out of the comfort zone. A lot of it comes through. It doesn't mean that we have to suffer in any way, no, but we always grow and learn and remember through beautiful challenge. And this reframing of problems and suffering into challenges, into growth, into gratitude, then every day will become a play. Every day will be an opportunity. Every day will be like, okay, what can I choose today? What can I focus on today physically? It's going to like light up the cells of this body. What can I choose this challenging emotion to face today, or who reflects that to me that I can choose consciously? That workmate that triggers me, that family member that touches the depths of my emotional soul. And how can I choose to actually meet that today, consciously with choice, rather than leaving it for a week and then boom, it all comes? How can I choose to direct my mind and not be mastered by my mind, and use this tool in a way that I'm directing it, that I'm choosing thought, not just being this victim of constant random thoughts, these field of thoughts, and I'm going to direct my thought, I'm going to choose this thought, and I'm going to choose to direct it for my evolution and the evolution of humanity. How can I challenge my body in a way? Not that someone told me, or that's something fancy, or something like some program I have to follow, although that's fine as well. But how can I choose to challenge my body, my physical body, so that I'm connected with every cell of my body? Yesterday, myself and Elise did like a physical workout in here, and we really both, for the first time in a long time, this workout absolutely challenged us to complete. Like once we got to the end of each time, we couldn't do any more, and that's living full out. The body's just like we just dropped. We couldn't do any more. We can always do more, but the physical had been fully spent. How much of your mind is be taken up by corporations and thought forms and ideas and politics and whatever else, thought forms that are offered to you, rather than choosing the thought form, choosing to direct the mind, choosing to direct your mental energy towards something that's beneficial for you and the collective of humanity. How many times are you a slave to your emotions? How many times is something external to you, in a movie, in politics, in news, in a relationship, in the world, where the emotion comes over you and it seems to take over you, rather than I choose to be at peace even when chaos is all around me today. I choose to stay balanced and centered and open and receptive, even with every part of me is rejecting that, is pushing it away. It feels painful, it feels fearful. How much of us are we still staying comfortable in our little echo chamber of spiritual people that agree with us, and pushing away the non-spiritual, the evil, the parts that are over there, and how can we choose every day in a little way to challenge ourselves to grow, to do something that I'm afraid of, to do something that my body says no, to do something that my mind says hell no, to do something that my emotions feel too vulnerable or too soft or too scared. How can we begin to be a sovereign one who chooses to evolve consciously rather than knocked down, beat up, and dragged along by life? This has been the Rising Soul Flow, and we've gone over 30 minutes. I'm going to check if there's comments here because I see there some have come. So I'm going to say hello and good morning to you. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Kath. Hello. Blessed solar return. Hello. What a beautiful scenery in Birds. Yes, it's amazing. Look, so here in this valley, I don't know if you can see it, but this is like I love being above the clouds and it being clear. So beautiful. Beautiful Kath. I think there's one. Who is this? Joan. Hello, Joan. I'm learning to recognize it as the squeeze. I like that. Just before a brand new leveling up, like a video game. Totally. That's a really good. That's a really good way. The squeeze. Yes, it's definitely the squeeze. Danica. I can put these on here again. How did I do that? There we go. Danica. Yes, been practicing gratitude for 20 to 30 minutes every morning in gratitude, followed by 20 to 30 minutes of movement, energy balancing, and flowing intentionally. See? Simple. So simple. And it's very simple to forget all that as well. Michael, brother, good morning. Good morning in Mexico. Blessings, Danica. Blessings to you. Beautiful message. Be you till full. I put the till in there because it's kind of Irish way of saying until. Be you till full. So when you're being you until you're full, the until is only the mind, the belief that we're separate, and belief in time. Be you full, beautiful. We are already full. We are the beauty. We are full of beauty. But the dream of time is the until. Be you till full. So we continually be ourselves by everything that we've shared here. And with the paradox and the truth is, and the absolute thing is, there's nothing we have to do, and everything that we shared, there's no need to do any of it. And the dream that I am this body, I am this name, I am these emotions, I am these thoughts, I am this spiritual being that needs to ascend is very strong in this dimension, and everything points toward the truth of separation. But the truth is, we are already that. We are already full. There's no practice you have to do. There's nothing you can't feel. You can't get it wrong. It's just the dream that says that we need to do something. So it's this continuous paradox, being able to live in the paradox. In the book A Life of Bliss, The Living Transmission, there's a continuous sharing of this paradoxical nature and how we are in this dance of the paradox of what seems to be and what is. And if we go to the extremes of those, either we're very disconnected from the world or we're a victim of the world. So can we go through the challenges while knowing we are challengeless, problemless? Can we go through like a physical workout or a mental workout or an emotional challenge or a spiritual up-leveling, giving it our all and knowing we already are all and we don't need any of it? This is the balance. It's like giving all of yourself while knowing you don't have to give anything. You can't be separate from anything. It's this, we don't have to do anything. We are everything. But it's this continual dance in these infinite shades of grey rather than black, white, polarity, this, that, here, there. We're in this continuous paradoxical dance of infinite shades of grey where we can, or we have the option to not, but is to play full out. Be all of it. See all of it. Share all of it. Live full out, knowing you're already at the end because it never started. We are in this middle way, the Tao, where we have this opportunity to choose. So this is the Rising Soul Flow. We just press live and we will title it afterwards. So I'd love anyone that's online there to any of your suggestions as this co-creative, collaborative expression of life itself is. What do you feel would be a good title for this video? Because again, we don't plan, we just close our eyes and see what comes. Any suggestions for titles of this video, please put it in the comments. And any suggestions for anything that you would like us to share about on any topic, please put it in the comments also. But it'd be fun to hear what you received from this and the knowing that you actually didn't receive anything and that you are the source of this and there's no giving and receiving and there's no here and there. And in this little game of duality that we play, what did this bring to you? What did it birth in you? How did it make you feel? What did it reveal to you as you? So please put the titles in the comments. Ah, look at that, brother. I don't know if you've been here, but I was talking about you, dear brother Kevin. You are that. Okay, done. I was just sharing about you and our beautiful conversation the other day, and about you put it much better than I have, but around this being born from faith. Born from faith. So we were actually sharing about that. Don't need to go to extremes, dancing with the simple things. Yes. Well, I absolutely agree with that. And Martin does not always remember that. Always here. Kevin is always here, everywhere. I love it, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are moving on. We would love to stay in this place, but today we are leaving this place and moving on to wherever we are called to next. We are still not making any decisions. We've had the very beautiful blessing of being in this little Airbnb somewhere in the mountains of Costa Rica. There's Michael. Be until full name. Be until full name. Love it. So we will continue. We'll continue this journey. And thank you for joining. Thank you for being all that you are. And I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow, but we'll be back at some stage when I have stable internet and we continue this Costa Rica adventure, looking for a space and a place where we may settle. Anyone that's connected in Costa Rica or knows anyone that we should connect with, please put in the comments also. And until next time, from my heart to yours, Divine in me sees, loves, and honors the divine in you. Namaste. We are